Dear Pedro, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to be back in Portugal. When I'm in this country, I'm in harmony with myself. You have to know that 20% of the inhabitants of Luxembourg are of Portuguese origin. So my neighbors are Portuguese, my friends are Portuguese, my restaurants are Portuguese. When I'm leaving my home, I'm smelling pastéis de Belém whenever they are on the table, and so there are so many good reasons to visit Portugal, which is one of my two favorite countries in Europe. I will not tell you who is the second, but Portugal is amongst the two. And so I'm happy to be here, and I was happy to have the opportunity to discuss with Pedro, with the Prime Minister, a certain number of European issues. The first thing I was telling my friend was that I wanted to congratulate him and Portugal and him for having been able to exit the rescue plan. This is a major performance. The fact that Portugal was able to exit in a clean way is another performance. The fact that the economy is growing, that growth is picking up, the fact that unemployment is going down, and what is more important, that the employment rate is increasing, the fact that the exports are taking new colors. All these news are good news for Portugal and for Europe. That was a major performance, knowing that the Portuguese people had to live with the fact that harsh measures were imposed on them. So I'm admiring the courage, the determination of the Portuguese people. And what the Portuguese don't know is that they are admired in the other countries of Europe and even beyond the European borders, because the fact that inside a time frame of 3 years Portugal was able to exit the rescue plan is seen as a major performance of this country. We are campaigning days before the European elections in order to convince the citizens of Europe and the voters in Europe to participate in these elections. I would like to invite my Portuguese friends to go for the polls, because these elections are of the highest importance. It's about Europe. It's not only about Portugal, but it's about Portugal too. Don't believe those who are campaigning in a way to have the general public believe that this is only about midterm elections in Portugal. This is not the case. Portugal is a very important country in the European Union, and it doesn't matter who the Portuguese citizens will send to the European Parliament, and each vote counts, because this time, for the very first time in recent European history, voters and citizens have an indirect choice to make, because they are taking, by voting and by going to polls, an influence on the appointment of the next president of the Commission. The Lisbon Treaty laid down a principle, and this principle is that the heads of state and government have to take into account, when appointing their candidate to be proposed to the European Parliament as a president of the Commission, the result of the European elections. And the Prime Ministers can't escape to that principles. They subscribed and can't escape to the requests, the demands of the Lisbon Treaty they brought to ratification in their parliaments. I do think that the main problem we are facing in Europe is growth and the fight against unemployment. But fiscal consolidation too is of the essence. These are things which are going together, two sides of the same medal: fiscal consolidation, growth, and job-oriented structural policies. Don't believe those who are saying that you can fight deficits by adding new deficits to the existing deficits. Don't believe those who have the opinion that you can spend money you don't have, increasing by thereby the levels of public debt. Those who are spending money they don't have, those who are adding deficits to deficits and public debt to public debt, in fact, are shipping their own responsibility to the next generations, which anyway have to face a very difficult future, given the fact that a lost generation is growing up because we were unable till now to bring young people back to work. So these are matters you shouldn't leave with those who have proven by the past how irresponsible they were and who are proving now that they are irresponsible. Debt and deficits is not the answer to the crisis. If we want to have sustainable growth for a long period, we have to put our public finances back in order. We need a European energy union. We need it urgently because we have to lower the dependence vis-à-vis Russia. We have to diversify the European energy supply, and we have to interconnect the European energy channels in a better way so that it should be possible, if the gas coming from the east to the west is becoming too costly, it should be possible to pump the gas from the west to the east. We are working on that, and we have to make major progress in that field. I would like the European Union to develop itself into a real single digital market. As we don't have money to spend, we have ideas to realize. And one of the ideas is that a real single digital market should be launched, bringing this artificial division between 28 national systems to an end. If we are putting in place a digital market, we are shipping an added value of 250 billion euros to the European economy. We will be able to create 3 million of jobs, future-oriented jobs, and will increase the revenue of this future-oriented sector by more than 100%. We have to be clear when it comes to Ukraine. Mr. Putin is violating international law. As we are a value-based European Union, we have to stand up and to defend our values, which are European values, but which are values which should be respected in the immediate neighborhood of the European Union too. We have to give an answer to the so-called British question. I would like us to negotiate in a proper way with Britain. I would think that the European Union will be stronger with Britain on board, and I would think that Britain will be strong if Britain is a leading member of the European Union. I would like us to conclude a free trade agreement with the US. This is of high importance because we would join the capacities, the talents, the energies of the largest economic area, the European Union, and the North American economic area. If we are putting together the strength of these two major and leading economic areas of the world, this would be in favor of growth, both in Europe and in the US, and would have a job-creating side effect. I don't want us to lower the European standards in the course of these negotiations as far as social protection is concerned, as far as health security is concerned, as far as food safety is concerned, as far as data protection is concerned. I don't think that data protection should be one of the elements to be negotiated during these free trade talks. I would like the Americans and others respect the European rules in that sector. For Portugal, this is a very important issue. The European Union countries, since the fall of the Berlin Wall, were looking to the east of Europe for understandable reasons, and the US are watching to the Pacific. If those looking to the Pacific and those who enlarge the European Union towards the countries of Central Europe and Eastern Europe are joining the efforts, Portugal will be located in the middle of this new growth area and can play the natural role Portugal always played. So I'm very happy, Pedro, ladies and gentlemen, to be here. I was in Oporto yesterday. I like that because 6 months ago I was given an honorary degree in Porto, so at the university, yes, and I like cities and universities which have honored me. I do think that this is speaking for them. So I'm happy to be here, and I'm ready to take your questions. Obrigado.